I'm Teresa Bowman from Cedar County Extension, and we are encouraging our Cedar County 4-Hers to take the challenge to make some face masks to help out our Cedar County residents in need. And to do that, we are putting together some kits that any 4-Hers, 4-H families, alumni, volunteers are welcome to come pick out at our office. So we'll have some kits available in our front foyer. You're welcome to stop by and pick them up anytime. Inside the kit, what you'll find is some instructions on how to make a face mask. This is the instructions provided by Iowa 4-H for a specific type of mask. You are welcome actually to make any type of mask that you want. There's not a specific type of mask needed here in Cedar County, but this is one type that is out there. And also in your kit, you'll find 1 yard of fabric as well as some coordinating thread. And so today, to help get you started as well, I'm going to go ahead and sew one of these face masks just to give you an idea of how simple it is. And if you've not done it before, this will give you a little bit of instruction and encouragement of how to do this. So also, if you need some help along the way, feel free to reach out, email me at my email address, call the office here. Typically I am in the office Monday through Friday. If not here, I'll definitely get the message and get back to you too. So on the instructions, it does tell you how to cut your fabric to get at least 4 masks out of the piece of fabric that you have. I've already pre-cut my fabric here for us to get started. So you'll start with your larger piece, and you want to put the right sides together and line up your shorter edges. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use just a couple pins to hold it together. And then I'm going to go ahead and stitch at a 1/4 inch that seam. So my pins are just kind of tacking it together, so as I stitch along there, they don't move. So I'm going to line up. A lot of the sewing machines, the edge of the pressure foot is the 1/4 inch. So just going to get started here and sew my 1/4 inch seam. Okay, I've got my 1/4 inch seam sewn, and now I'm going to go ahead and turn this right side out. And you'll also want to make sure as you're sewing here you have your iron good and hot, because a lot of the steps that we're going to do will require you to press things as we go. So I'm turning it right side out, and then I'm just going to go ahead and press this seam so it lays nice and flat before we go on to our next step. So I've got my iron all set here. Gonna press this seam so it lays nice and flat. Okay. And so that is ready to go. For this next step, you'll want your seam at the bottom, and you're gonna need some pins again as well, and a ruler would be handy as well. So you're going to start, and the instructions for this again are in your bag, but you're going to put a pin at 1.5, and I pin right through both layers, and just marking the 1.5, and then again at 2.5. And then 3 1/4. Four 1/4. At 5 inches and at 6 inches. And so what you're doing is setting up for 3 sets of pleats at 1 inches apart each. And so you'll go ahead and do that same measurement on the other side. Okay, so I've got my pins laid out for my pleats. The next step is to actually match up the sets of 2 pins to create your pleats. So you take the pins that you had at 1.5 and 2.5, you're going to match them up, and then you're going to pin through all 4 layers, creating a pleat. And then you can take out the back pin. And then you're going to take the 2 at 3 1/4 and 4 1/4, creating another pleat. And at 5 and 6, creating your 3rd and final pleat. So now you only have 3 pins and you have 3 pleats, and you'll repeat that on the other side. Okay, I now have both sides pinned and pleated, and I'm going to stitch through those pleats again at, I'm going to stitch just under 1/4 inch to hold those in place, and I'll take my pins out as I go here. Now, as I'm sewing a seam, I do a little back stitch. I do that to help reinforce the stitching at the edge, just so it doesn't pull out. Now, this fabric in these kits was provided to us through funding that we received through Iowa 4-H and through Joanne Fabric. So we were very fortunate to get this fabric at no cost, and these masks will be staying right here in Cedar County, going to Public Health and Cedar County EMA, and they're going to get the masks to whoever in Cedar County is in need, whether it be you know, our senior facilities, or to frontline workers who need them to help extend their masks that they wear when they work every day, or if it's just some of our friends in the community that need a fabric mask. So we definitely are in need though, and so yeah, if you have the capabilities to make some masks, I really encourage you to give it a try. It's not hard, and it's a good skill to give a try and learn. Okay, so the basics of the mask is done now. It is sewn together. Now we're going to prepare the strings to help tie the mask off. So I have 2 of those cut here and ready to go. We're going to prepare those by starting with ironing. And what we're going to do with those, if you want to get a good close-up shot of this here, basically we'll lay it out, and I'm going to iron it in half, and I'll start by doing this, and then I'll show you once I have it ironed in half. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do quarters and bring the edges to the middle. And when I do that, then I'll wind up with a strap that looks something like this. Okay, so just lots of ironing gonna happen here. All right, now if you have the straps all pressed nicely, you find the center of one of the straps, and you open up the center seam of it and find the center of a side of your mask, pin it on over top of the edge of the masks, and then you start at one end of the strap and you're gonna sew it together so that it stays just how you pressed it. Now you can use a straight stitch if you want. I prefer to use a zigzag just because it holds it together a little bit more. So let me start that, and then I'll show you looks like. And it's all stitched together. And there you have it, finished face mask. So that's one example of how you would sew a face mask. So again, all 4-H members, families, volunteers, alumni, there are kits with this material available at the Extension office. Please come pick it up at any time. If you have any questions, give us a call or send me an email. Please do make sure after you've created your face mask, go on and register and share with Iowa 4-H how many face masks you've made and donated, whether you donate hopefully to the Cedar County Public Health EMA project through us, or even if you just donate them to family and friends, please log those as well. If you do decide to give back to our project, there is a drop-off box in our foyer. So by all means, you can drop them back there anytime. And there is a Cedar County Public Health little half sheet of information they want you to include with those as well, so they can log that information. So happy sewing and good luck.